Hello, I am Juan-Juan, your system instructor, and today we will talk about the best methodology to clean, organize, and make a workplace more efficient, the 5S. And by the way, I am in the country where this methodology started, Japan. Actually, I am in the city of Tokyo. Take a look. Actually, I am in the city of Tokyo in front of the Shinjuku Shrine. Take a look. The 5S system was developed here in Japan around the 1960s as part of the Toyota Production System, or TPS. However, the methodology is a tribute to Mr. Hiroyoko Hirano, or Hirasan in Japanese, who published several books, including the 5S, the 5 Pillars of the Visual Workplace, in 1995, which was written originally for managers, and later 5S for operators, which outlines the methodology for the original 5S. Mr. Hirano also developed the just-in-time concept and published the book Just-in-Time Factory Revolution in 1989, but we will talk about that in another video. Moving on, the 5 pillars, or 5S, were initially used to improve efficiency in production lines and the manufacturing processes. However, 5S principles can be applied in various settings, including offices, restaurants, and even homes. 5S is also one of the tools for lean manufacturing, since it focuses on eliminating waste and improving efficiency. And as we know, there are 8 areas of waste in manufacturing, also known as muda in Japanese, which are overproduction, delays or waiting, unnecessary human motions, transportation, over-processing, extra inventories or WIP, defective products, and misused human talents, like my talent. The 5S methodology consists of 5 steps, and each step starts with the sound of the letter S, hence the name 5S, which are sort, straighten, shine, standardize, and sustain. In recent years, a 6S has been included for safety. Since this methodology started in Japan, the original names in Japanese are Seiri, which means organize, but it was translated to English as sort to keep the S sound at the beginning of the word. The reason behind this translation is that the Japanese writing system, or kana, there is no symbol equivalent to the letter S, but it has 5 symbols for the sound that start with S, which are sa, chi, as in sushi, su, se, and so. You will see some of these symbols in the original Japanese names. The name of the second pillar is Seiton, which in reality means put in order. And same as the previous pillar, in order to keep the S sound, was translated as straighten. The third pillar is called Seiso, or Soji, which means cleaning and was translated as shine. The fourth pillar is Seiketsu, which means standardized cleanup, and has been translated in some cases as standardized and in others as sustaining hygiene. The last pillar is Shitsuke, which means discipline, and has been translated as sustain. In this video, I will use both terms, the original Japanese and the English version. So, let's review the pillars one by one. But first, let's take a break and take a look at some images of Japan.
You know I'm be with somebody less refined. Need more than love, you ain't enough. Not sorry, 그냥 가라, you gotta level up. Sorry, 그냥 가라, you gotta level up.
And now I am in the East Gardens of the Imperial Palace. It is a quiet place, so that's why I am speaking so low. The first pillar for a visual workplace is SOAR, Seiri in Japanese, or organize. The objective in this step is to identify and eliminate unnecessary items from the workplace. This includes getting rid of garbage, broken tools, outdated materials, and anything that is no longer used. And remember, 5S, like any other technique, is always a team activity. Never work alone. One of the most efficient techniques to dispose of the unused items is the red tag method. And by the way, I have used this method in the past and really works. The red tag method consists of creating a temporary holding area, the red tag area, and place over there all of the unused or unwanted items from a specific department or even the entire factory, and attach a red tag in each item. You can find these red tags easily online. Just Google red tags for 5S. Once you have identified all the red tags items, ask personnel from all departments to inspect them and help them with disposition, which could be scrap the items, sell them, return to vendors if this is allowed, repurpose the items to be used by other departments, racks, tools, machine components, etc. Hence, the importance of having the participation of all departments. It is also important that you set up a maximum retention time for the red tag items, such as 2 weeks max or so. If you don't do that, the items may stay too long in the red tag area, creating another problem. And now I am at the Shinjuku station. Take a look. I forgot to mention one more thing about red tags. I do recommend the red tag area to be temporary, never permanent, since there is a risk that the area will become a new storage place. Eliminate the red tag area as soon as possible. And before we discuss the second pillar, let's take a break. I am back at Shibuya. The second pillar is to straighten or set in order, Seiton in Japanese. This step focuses on arranging items in a way that is efficient and easy to find. We shall organize the remaining items in a logical and efficient manner, ensuring that everything has its place. This involves using storage solutions such as racks and cabinets, labels, and visual aids to make it easy for everyone to find what is needed. When rearranging a work area or workstation, it is important to keep in mind the principles of motion economy. In other words, we need to remove the waste from human motions by locating parts, equipment, machines, and tools in the best locations possible. Also, we need to consider ergonomic principles to accommodate personnel of assorted sizes, heights, and genders when improving the layouts. A useful tool to be used in this second pillar is the 5S map. This map can be used to evaluate current locations or parts, tools, equipment, and machinery to decide the best future locations. And as you can see, we need two maps, one for before the 5S and the other for after the 5S. And don't be surprised if the after map changes several times before you and your team agree on the final arrangement. Another useful strategy to use during the set in order stage is the signboard strategy. Signs are often used to identify the names of working areas, inventory locations, equipment, store locations, location for standard procedures, and machine layouts, among many other applications. Another great example of proper signs are the information boards at the Haneda Airport. Take a look. It switches between Japanese and English and gives you information of where is everything. Another strategy is the painting strategy. This is a method for identifying locations on floors and walkways. You can also use tape, which is a clever idea in case the layout changes due to changes on needs or other process improvement events. In the painting strategy, it is also common to use assorted colors for aisles, working areas, storage areas, or distinct colors for containers depending on the material or content. And one important note, always develop a procedure defining what the colors mean. This is important for the training of new personnel and to comply with some requirements of standards such as ISO and AATR. Train stations in Tokyo are a great example of setting order. As you can see, there are markings on the floor indicating where to take the train, yellow lines for precaution, and even the direction you need to walk. And lastly, my favorite strategy is the outlining strategy. I am quite sure you have seen these boards before. Outlining simply means drawing outlines of tools in the proper storage locations. This strategy not only determines what needs to be at the working station, it also helps to easily determine when something is missing. Use this strategy every time you can. And before we talk about the third pillar, let's take another break. The third pillar is shine or say so. This involves cleaning the work area and ensuring that everything is neat and tidy. At this point, we must clean the workplace and equipment. In this step, it is also a clever idea to include performing regular maintenance of equipment to ensure that it's in good working condition. Tokyo is a great example for cleaning. As you can see, parks are very clean and constantly maintained. Take a look. One of the keys to success in this step is to develop procedures for proper cleaning. Many organizations have procedures for processes, operations, and machine operations, but something that is often overlooked is procedures for cleaning. So my recommendation is to develop them for key work centers and equipment. And don't forget to include the steps for the verification, inspection, and evaluation of the cleaning effectiveness. That was a lot. Let's take another break.
From KK3 bound.
And now I am at the Shinjuku area of Tokyo. Take a look. The fourth pillar is standardized or seiketsu. This involves setting up standards for cleanliness, organization, and maintenance. This involves documenting the best practices, creating visual aids, and training employees on the 5S system. A good practice at this stage is to set up a schedule for cleaning and inspection. Some companies also perform audits to guarantee that the previous steps are maintained. So, in the fourth pillar, you need to ensure that activities done on the previous three pillars are sustained. For example, you need to be sure that unused materials or equipment don't find their way back to the working areas. And if so, use again the red tag technique. You need to be sure that the new layout is efficient, and if not, make the proper modifications. And the same with all of the elements of the visual workplace. You need to be sure that employees use them in an efficient manner. And lastly, you need to ensure that the cleanliness is sustained and that the cleaning procedures are followed. And before we talk about the last pillar, let's take our final break with more images of Japan. And the fifth pillar is sustain or Shitsuke. This is the most difficult step since it requires the commitment and support of everyone in your organization. A 5S program cannot be successful without the involvement of everyone, from top management to operations. And as we know, a good organizational system encourages the participation and growth of all employees. Some people believe that 5S is a one-time event, but no. 5S is a process, and we must make the 5S process a habit and part of the daily routine. This requires ongoing effort, regular audits, and a strong commitment from all employees, starting with top management. Some techniques to help with the sustainment and success of the 5S program include create and establish a 5S slogan. Your company may already have a quality slogan or a safety slogan. Well, create another one for 5S or modify one of your current ones. Place 5S posters around your company, and remember, front offices are also part of the 5S program. Post pictures and storyboards of successful programs. They are great motivational tools. If you have a company newspaper or bulletin, include stories related to 5S. Include 5S in your quality manuals and employee handbooks. Organize 5S tours on the manufacturing areas and front offices. And standardize 5S tools. For example, if your company is in a cold area like Chicago where I live, nobody takes vacations during January and February, so those are good months for 5S. Another good way to keep your 5S is to have proper disposition of all materials, like these cans in the Japan Haneda airport. Take a look. Bottles and cans, plastic bottles, and other trash. The signs are great too. And lastly, as mentioned before, in recent years, a 6S for safety has been incorporated. This means that we need to incorporate safety in every aspect of the 5S program, including hazard identification and elimination, risk assessment, and safety training. Many companies do safety first before starting the rest of the step of the methodology, and I do agree. You need to consider safety first in any 5S or Six Sigma project. So discuss safety aspects in every step. Now, let's go to the final thoughts. And these are my final thoughts. The 5S is a great methodology with many potential benefits for any organization, which may include increased productivity by eliminating or reducing waste or muda. 5S can also increase productivity. Improve safety. A clean and organized workplace reduces the risk of accidents and injuries. Enhance efficiency. 5S helps to streamline workflows and reduce bottlenecks. And improve morale. A clean and organized workplace can create a more positive and productive work environment. And lastly, remember that 5S is not a one-day event and is not only cleaning. It is a complete methodology as already shown in this video. Well, this has been a great trip to Tokyo, but it's time to go back home. So I'm going to say goodbye. But Japanese people never say sayonara, that is goodbye forever. So I am going to say matane, which translates to see you later, have a great time. And to you and to Japan, arigatou gozaimashita. Arigatou gozaimashita. See you later.
Baby, お願い二人だけの秘密